Hello, my name is Sean Tucker. I'm going to be talking about the issues within IT for drone delivery. To start off, I'm going to talk about the current ways drones are used. Currently, Amazon, UPS, Google, and European companies all use drones as a way to deliver their products that are ordered online to the user. They have a very speedy delivery rate. That is why this is becoming a practical use. Um, Drones are also used as security because they have cameras attached to them, so they're a way to ramp up security and have that extra set of eyes flying around that is remote. In non-commercial uses, terrorists have been known to use them as a bomb delivery system. They strap bombs onto these drones and try and drive the drones past security into the crowds of people. This was seen at a Turkey presidential speech. It was unsuccessful, but there was 3 bombs attached to drones that were flown in. The Red Cross is known to use drones as a way to send products over to remote areas that would take a very long time to get to, or that don't have accessible roads, or the paths to the area are blocked by rebels. Military have also started using them as surveillance as well as targeting from a range. And then they are also used as search and rescue items because you can fly above the tree line and travel a large amount of distance in a short period of time, and they are very uh, fuel effective considering that they use power and they can easily go out, come back, be charged and sent. So some of the current features that drones have are that they are actually able to sense obstacles while they're flying and avoid them. Uh, they also have the ability to be set to track something. So this works as you get the video cameras attached to the drone, and you actually highlight the object that you want the drone to follow, and then through image recognition, it will actually follow that item. Um, so they also have auto stabilizing, which is used for when there's a gust of wind or it comes into contact with rain or something, that it will actually be able to balance itself so that way it does not get turned sideways and fly off in a weird direction. Another feature that they also have already created is flight path recording. So you're actually able to go and fly your drone and do it once, record all the flight paths that you took, and then go and just hit a button and it will actually be able to redo that entire path by itself. So the pros of drone delivery is that they reduce the time for delivery. It's estimated that if you're within an area of the warehouse, that they'll actually be able to send out deliveries from the point that you order and get it to your house in less than 30 minutes. Another big benefit of this is less traffic on the road, and you don't have to worry about traffic in regards to how long it'll take to deliver it to the user. Another benefit is that they save human time, and what means by this is that it is actually automated, so you don't have to have that person driving the drone or driving the truck out to deliver the items. Amazon has actually managed to get it to the point where it loads the drone through automation, so you don't even have the person attaching the package to the drone. They also save time in the fact that you do not have to backtrack. And what I mean by this is when you have a delivery guy, he has to drive down the street, get to the end, deliver the package, and then he actually has to drive back up that street and then go to the next route to the next person's house where they're getting the package delivered. So that would remove that part. Another benefit of drone delivery would be the fact that it can deliver packages to virtually anywhere. So it doesn't matter if you're in a fly-in area up at a cabin, if you're parked on the side of the road, it will be able to find you and deliver to you. Also, if the road is closed or if there's flooding and there is no practical way in or out, it will still be able to get to you. Um, Drones are also safer, and this is because they no longer have the risk of car accidents that they're going to get to, and when they finally get to your house, it's there's no worry about you having snow, ice on your walkway. You don't have to worry about the delivery man tripping on your yard, which gives it a higher success rate than humans, which is a very big benefit. They also conserve energy when looking at the way we deliver now. A drone requires much less energy and gives off a lot less emissions than a delivery truck. Now on to the negatives, the issues. So some of the big issues are battery power. Batteries don't hold enough power in relation to the weight of the battery to make this the most practical use. There's a big issue with theft due to the fact that drones are small sized and are able to be picked up by a single human being. Another con would be unskilled job loss because we no longer need that delivery guy that doesn't actually require much of an education. Another issue is with privacy. Not too many people want cameras flying around, recording them all the time. Security, they actually open up a new issue with crime based on the fact that they can be driven without a pilot, which then makes it harder to track to find out who is actually driving this drone, which then can cause the fact that terrorists are better hidden. They can also cause property damage, and what I mean by this is, let's say you have a drone delivery to your house, the drone comes, it's a relatively big package, the weather's not too good, and it flies in, a gust of wind sends it through your window, and also have an issue with it landing in gardens, hitting cars while it's flying, which is another big problem. Another issue that you have to consider is air traffic, which is the fact that you're going to have a bunch of drones flying above your head up in the sky, which is going to have to worry about collision courses with other drones that are flying, low-flying aircrafts, helicopters, and even birds. And these things falling out of the sky could be very fatal. Another issue to consider is the environmental threats, like birds, hail, and storms that can come up out of nowhere and cause an issue if you did order a package in the middle of a storm, how they're going to deal with getting that package to you if drone delivery is the only way. Alright, so now the solution. So the issue with the batteries is that it's currently too heavy, they don't hold enough power for long deliveries, and then you have to recharge them after every use, and then at a point the battery stops holding a charge. These are all issues because it's slightly unpredictable when your battery starts to run out of the charge capacity, and you don't want your drone falling out of the sky in the middle of a delivery or not making it back to you to be able to use it again. So a solution that I have thought up of is adding solar technology onto the drone. So you add solar panels onto the drone, and this will give it a power boost, which can actually increase the flight distance and have less strain on the battery. I did some research into the solar panels. There are actually very light, flexible solar panels that actually produce 260 watts per meter squared, and the weight of that is only 170 grams, so it is a reasonable weight compared to the power output. And then you think, well, what if it's cloudy? Then it won't work. These solar panels will actually capture infrared, so they do even generate power when it's cloudy. Another solution to this would have a delivery truck that would be loaded with the packages as well as the drones, drive to a city that isn't close to headquarters, open the back and let them launch from the truck and just return to the truck, so that way they don't have as far of distance, while at the same time the truck doesn't actually have to go to every house individually. And then for the battery charging, that one should be relatively easy. Just have an automated battery switching dock, so when it comes back from a delivery, automated machine pops out the battery, sticks it on charge, and pops in a new one. Another issue to consider is the theft and damage. So when you're looking at theft, you have to worry about the consumer intentionally trying to steal their delivery drone, meaning that you order a package and you're actually hoping to get this package and steal the drone yourself, so you'd order it to an alias or a fake account. Another issue would be people being able to see these drones flying over with a package and actually following them to the place of delivery and trying to capture them. And then the other issue is knocking the drones out of sky. This could be a fact that it drives over a park and there's a bunch of kids playing and think it's a fun game to try and knock the drone out of the sky. Or you get those gun happy people that see a flying drone and think, oh, target practice. So solutions for this would be attaching 360-degree cameras onto the drones, so that way you can actually get a picture of the face of the people that are trying to steal it, so that way you actually have a lead when going to retrieval and finding. A GPS location on your drone, as well as having a warning system, so that way if the drone is outside of the set path by a certain amount of feet, meters, that a warning system will be set off saying that your drone is out of the route. It might be getting stolen, so that way you can have a quick response. Another solution would be encrypting each drone's operational software uniquely, so that way if someone were to go and steal this drone, they would actually have to reproduce all of the software to actually make the drone fly, based on the fact that they would not be able to get a remote attached to it, and that the drone would not be able to communicate and get new orders based on the someone else just trying to connect to it. A solution for getting knocked out of the sky is to fly at a very high height or altitude, so that way they don't look as easy targets. And also avoid flying near places of mischief, sort of like alleyways or parks where you know people that have too much time are going to be spending there that could cause problems, and think drone hunting would be a fun idea. So now, issues with damages and environmental risks. So some of these issues would be power lines, because the drones might fly into them, trees, the weather, hail, snow, rain, gusts of wind, pets trying to attack the drones that they're flying through, moving objects like cars, people walking, trucks, and other items that might actually move into the drone without noticing, windows, as well as gardens, because we all know someone that is very possessive over their garden and would lose it if they had a drone land in it and rip up their flowers. So the solutions that I've come up for this is artificial intelligent pilots running video image identification algorithms, so that way it is flying the drone and is able to make quick decisions on whether it's going to bump into something, and it will be able to register where power lines are, if you're flying into one, where the trees are, and as well as countermeasures to weather that pops up. Also, to have adaptive flight, so that way wind will not turn the drone sideways and blow it off course, or other natural phenomenons that might affect the way it is flying. And also, another solution would be for the consumer to actually have a designated landing pad for these drones that have a clear line to the sky, so that with an RFID, so that way the drone can actually go fly very high, and then once it's directly above this landing pad, it's able to view down, see that it can see the pad, and just fly straight down, so that way it doesn't have to worry about running over any places that are busy. And that is all. Any questions?